Imagine there is a team that is responsible for the wall, development and maintenance. When there occurs little cracks, nobody notices. When they grow into bigger one, people put focus on it, discuss, find solution, and try to cooperate as effectively as they can to fix it up quickly. As you can see behind me, they focus on symptoms while nobody cares about the real problem, that is the broken pipe. Probably they will look around when the wall starts collapsing and people understand that their solution don't work. The same may happen in our teams. I've chosen 5 reasons that might cause that we focus more on symptoms than real problems. I will tell you about some tools I've learned to help people and me prevent this kind of situation. The first one, guess what? Just losing the big picture. It is so easy to remember that teams contribute to ecosystem while planning big workshops, features, and changes in company. And it is so easy to forget about it while our day-by-day work. Meetings like backlog refinements, little decisions, deployments, bug fixing. These baby steps, in fact, create our reality and create our systems. So what to do to help people keep the big picture? The first thing is just to ask proper question. Guys, who's missing there? Who will be impacted? Who will be affected by your decisions? Who should know about your plans? And the second one, even much more powerful, is just to give a pen to people and ask them to draw what they are talking about. To give them a chance to make 2 steps back and see the topic in the big picture, see the whole context, and have a chance to ensure that they haven't missed the issue. While working with my teams, we use very simple tools, like a graph, just to keep connection between elements, services, features. And the second one, timeline, when we want to understand clearly what happened, where were the crucial moments and how they affected others. But you have to remember that behind systems there are people, and this is the king, communication. But communication can be a trap as well. And this is my second reason. This is my second challenge. I named it lack of skills to communicate tough topics. I will explain you. I have hypothesis that if everybody said about problems he can see around, we would have much fewer problems, smaller one, because we would solve them much, much earlier. I will give you some examples. Iza, have you seen what they are doing? Their solution won't work because of this and that. Okay, so go and let them know. It's not my business, but probably there's the bigger idea behind it, and I don't know it. And the second example, imagine people that have just left the meeting and they talk like that, I don't get the idea, me either. But they didn't say it loudly during the meeting. If there is a person who have guts to say it loudly, people say to this kind of person, wow, it was so awesome you said it, because you said that everybody have in our mind. Today, we could hear wonderful talks about emotional safety and empathy that are very close to this topic. But I would like to focus you on different part of it. Talking about tough topics is a skill. And my observation is that sometimes people don't do this, not because they are not eager to do it or because they want to hide something, but because they don't have skills. They don't have chances to practice it. So my solution, the first one just start with yourself. Lead by example. Be the first who have guts, just to show people that if you name what you can see, it can be a game changer. It can change the conversation and turn it up to the proper places, to the proper topics. And the second one, if it is a skill, you can give people tools. You can make them practice it. I do it using a form of workshops, a short one, 1 hour, 1.5. I give a chance people to talk about it, that it is difficult to talk about tough topics. And I show them very simple tools, like SBI, situation, behavior, impact. And you know, people start using it, but what is very interesting for me, firstly, they do it directly, and they make laugh of it, like that, just to inform others I'm trying to give a feedback. Hey, today SBI for you, because there is a meeting, you are late, and it disturbs us and can prolong the meeting. We don't like it. But in the second step, people stop mentioning the tool, but there stay a skill to talk deeply about topics. The third one, habits of looking for solutions. Many of us, I mean managers, agile coaches, scrum masters, developers as well, we love solving problems. We are hunters for solutions, or we want to make people become a hunter. Think about techniques that we use during sprint retrospectives. We generate problems and then make a brainstorm just to find solutions, and we choose the best one. So it works like a machine. Problem, solution, problem, solution, problem, solution. But there is something missing there. Conclusion, there are too many problems. We talk about them just on surface, and we find solutions that don't work because they are not connected to real problems. So what you can do, just shorten the list of the problem, choose the most important one, the crucial one, and dive deeply. You can do it using simply tool, 5 whys. You define the problem. I've chosen this particular one. We spend too much time on daily Scrum. And look at this, we could start looking for solution. Okay, so let's cut the conversations, or let's stop the meeting after 15 minutes, or just give people time boxes. But look what can happen if we dive deeply and we start asking questions with whys. The most important thing about the tool is that each question should refer to previous answer. Let's look at it. So you know the problem. So the first question, why do you need so much time? And the answer, because we often argue about how things should work. Okay. Why do you argue about it? Answer, because it is not written down. Why isn't it written down? Because we don't have time for it during our backlog refinement. Okay, why don't you have time for it? Because there are so many topics to discuss during the meeting. Okay, so why are there so many topics? And the answer is because we have refinements rarely. I just wanted to show you that there might be a long way between the problem we talk about and the root cause. And the point is that in our situations that are complex, probably the root causes are many. The fourth challenge, cognitive biases. Even if you want to talk about the problem and you can define it, it might be a trap as well. Because you know, The tool in our head, our brain, loves simplicity. Even if the situation is complex, it just collects data and try to create something that can be meaningful for us. So it gives us opinions and judgments. I will give you examples of two cognitive biases I've chosen. The first one with the crown. I even won't try to pronounce it. But the point is, we overestimate the value of information we have access to. And I will give you an example. I don't think we should start writing tests, because I know a lot of companies that don't do this, and their products work. And the second one, this is the end of the sprint. We haven't delivered almost anything. So we take too many tasks, or maybe we should just cooperate differently. Oh, we take too many tasks. It is always like that. So what you can do about it? Firstly, you can show people that there is something like cognitive bias, because it is quite interesting and open-minded. And the second one, you can just put the data on the table and confront judgments and opinions with facts. An example. Look, guys, these are data from the last 3 sprints. At the end of the sprints, almost all of your tasks were on status in testing or in code review. You're right, so probably we could cooperate differently just to make them happen. The last one, and my favorite one. Sometimes when we focus on models of works, theories, data, it is so easy just to forget about the simplest thing. You can ask people, guys, what bothers you? What disturbs you to do your job well? What is the main problem here? What do you think? Answers for this kind of questions might be a wonderful base to start deep and meaningful conversations. Examples. We don't get the idea of Kanban board we have to use. And another. Everybody says that our product is so important, but so few cares and come to our sprint review to watch what we've done and to give us feedback, including our boss. My boss confuses me, and I don't know what he expects from me. Asking this kind of question will just give people a chance to reflect what they feel about the situation and what they really know about it. And they are in, so probably they know a lot. This is the summary of my experience and tools. Some of them I used to prevent this kind of situation. Recently, I've heard that we are more human doing than human being. When thinking about teams, who, if not we, should just stop the crazy race and help people to get access to deeper understanding of situation. Thank you.
Maybe I'll ask a question. Do you have, you said some things about how you can misjudge the problem to go to solution too quickly. Can you give some examples of some spectacular failures in that space?
I can give you an example that was really meaningful for me. I started working with a team, and the main problem that was defined by the manager of it was that the team isn't self-organized. They have been using Scrum for maybe 2 years, and if there were a manager, they used it properly. But when he had day off, they just didn't do it. And they talked to me about kind of solution they used to do. And firstly, I tried to think like that. Okay, so what should we do to make them behave like more self-organized team? But then we realized that the reason was behavior of the manager. Yeah, so it is quite obvious when I'm talking about now, but when you're just in the situation, sometimes it is really difficult to catch the big picture.